morning, friends. My name is Lorianne, and I wanted to share with you today the first in a series of some alternative journals that I have made. The first journal that I'll be sharing is called A Button Box Full of Memories. The inspiration for this journal came from memories that I had as a young child of going through my mother's old button box. What a joyous thing to do when you were a child in the 60s is to open up the can and pour out all the favorite buttons that your mother had. Included in those buttons, you might find Grandma's coat button, all those old gaudy buttons, and some newer buttons off some coats. I had some coats off, or some buttons off of some childhood clothing my mother had made for me. Can you imagine the pink and white polka dots or seersucker along with that one? Here we are getting into the 70s with this one. And look, this is one of my favorite little treasures in all the buttons that I have. This is an old shoe button as far as I know, and a couple of other little ones. I've got a box full of them, and I was fortunate enough to acquire my mother's old button box. So, along with those memories, I had wanted to share a story that I had created that reminded me of the specific people and the times, the historical document of the people who had worn the clothing with those particular buttons on it. This is especially dedicated to my mother, who's a picture of her in her early years, along with my button box and some buttons. There's the front cover, different layers of paper. Be creative. Multimedia is the key. Little pieces and scraps, save them all. Those are the things you can't get when you do digital. So I had written the story on the computer. Real simple little pages. Add a little bit of variation in the layout. One of my goals is to publish this someday. A little final back page. And in the very, very back, I have another picture of the button box. And then I have a couple of other buttons that were from there, as well as the little plastic pocket that holds them all. And I added a little bird feather in there for some contrast. And I tied it all together. And then with the button in the front, I can do this. Very special way to capture your childhood memories. I hope you enjoy.